Yes, that's right. I'm very proud Irish-Somali. I come from Somalia originally. Somalia is a country that's been in a war over 30 years and not respecting women as well. There is something called female genital mutilation, which is practiced in Somalia 98%. Young girls who are born age 0 to 8 or 13 are undergoing female genital mutilation. Today I want to share with you a young girl who was born in rural area, which is 500 miles from Mogadishu, capital city of Somalia, where I was born and raised before I came to Ireland. This young girl was 10 years old. Her name was Deka Daher. Deka Daher, she could be a doctor by now if she had the opportunity to study. She could be a midwife. She could be anything that helps the society. But Deka's life was shortened by her families because of female genital mutilation. And Deka was cut with another 4 sisters. And to mix with my own journey on female genital mutilation, I was cut with 9 young girls. But I was lucky to be the survivors, where Deka lost her own life because of bleeding. As an activist, as a campaigner, as a young woman who came to Ireland and educated herself, returned back to Somalia, I could not miss it, not going to the village where Deka have died. So I take a plane, which was 1 hour and a half. But that journey of 1 hour and a half, I was reflecting my own personal experience because how lucky I was to be the survivors, and same time thinking about Deka. I landed, but people thought I was a crazy woman who did not care about her life. Of course, now I do care about my life because I have a 3-year-old girl who was born in Dublin, who is free from female genital mutilation, who today could live the happy life she wanted. But that time, I felt if I could save one girl's life, I wouldn't care more or less, whatever happened to me. So I flew into this place called the Dusabareb. In Dusabareb, I take a journey 60 kilometers on a car journey. The road was rough. There was, afraid of Al-Shabaab, who are a type of Al-Qaeda link or ISIS. But I never cared because of my own views of how I think female genital mutilation be dealt. So during the journey, we put a camera in front of the car to see how long it takes journey from where I was to Deka's family. Deka lived in a hood, which is 20 minutes from each hood's 4 houses. Deka was cut, but her cutting was part of all her families, mother, fathers, grandfathers, auntie, and the cutters was one of the family members. So when Deka was cut, the family left her to bleed over 4 hours. They actually looked for transport. Even the transport was not something that Deka alone could be carrying to the transport to the city where she could get help. The car was stopped in each villages to collect more people, but Deka was still bleeding. So Deka went on that journey. And when they brought her to hospital, something shocked me was her father who took her to the hospital. When they went to the hospital, he was asked, "Your daughter have lost the blood. Maybe if you donate the blood, she might be still alive." But father did not say yes or even no. And Deka lost her life. I went that journey to meet her own parents and sit with them and say how they feel because they lost Deka. Mother, who are nomad family who live in that area, who doesn't know nothing about, humanity or human rights or the risk of female genital mutilation. When I talk to the mother and the grandmothers together, they say that if the mother, if she had another daughter, she will do same. and she didn't even worry that she lost the Deka. Then I talked to the grandfather. Deka was the help of the grandfather. She used to go with him on the livestock. She could actually help him in the morning, bring his tea and coffee, the mattress of the prayer and all that. So at least the grandfather was honest with me. And he said, we are people who have no education. We don't know, we don't understand. We need people like you to come to us and educate us. But the mother who have given birth, this beautiful girl, who she raised the last 10 years, she said if she had another girl, she will do same. That really break my heart and say this community really needs more education. So I felt that leaving the family behind, I need to go to the hospital where Deka died. I meet the doctors, nurses, everybody who was in the hospital who helped Deka to suffer or to survive. So when I talked to the doctor, who was himself a man or male, he could not really answer any question I asked. The sad, the horrified he had felt about this little girl lost her life. So I talked to the nurse who was at that night in the hospital, who was actually dealing with Deka's at the time in the hospital. She said, the only thing I can say is that because Somalia is a war, only thing I can say, Deka did not die bomb attack. She did not die bullet, but her family brought it, their own hand, Deka's life to be lost. That even make me shake more. And that is the fact. Deka died because hand of her own families, not even bullet or bomb or anything like that. Then I went back to the father, running around after him, trying to get out of him, why did they do it? Why did he not even donate the blood to save her life? But I couldn't get the answer. I sit down. I cried more than hours and hours, feeling sad, feeling powerless, and feeling inhumanity what we are living today. Because Deka didn't deserve to die on something, like female genital mutilation. And Deka, deserved to be alive. But her own family has scattered her, and they make her life short, and she died. So I went to the grave where Deka was buried. I don't even know why I went there. But for me, sitting there and thinking of again and again my own personal experience going through female genital mutilation brought me back. There is more advocacy and more campaign needs to end on female genital mutilation in Somalia and beyond. Somalia, 98% young girls who are born right now are at risk. Also globally, not only Somalia. You might feel like this is something, is their cultures, something I see in it, people saying is their cultures, is their own thing, but it's not that way. It is your responsibility, it's my responsibility, it's everyone's responsibility, because we're talking about young girls who are actually right now even born in Dublin or born somewhere in Ireland, who are at risk. We are so lucky that we say Ireland have a legislation on female genital mutilation. Many of you might not even know that there is a law existed here in Ireland protects young girls. But for me, reflecting Deka's story, it means so much to me because I remember the day we lost this little girl who was one of the 9 girls was cut, looking at her, swollen in her belly, and tears on her eyes. Our family even tried to shut us up and say, don't look at her, don't see anything. But we were young, we really wanted to know what was going on about this little girl, but we kept it away. But last thing I remember was this girl was taken away. Nobody has actually told us anything, what has happened. We keep asking next day, we keep asking the night, what happened to her? Her name was Honey. We asked our grandmother, what happened to Honey? And we told, don't talk about it. But when we actually find out the truth, there was nothing we could do, but there was something we could do. Talking to our families, which now I'm doing as an activist, going back my own community and telling this is risk, and they shouldn't be practiced on young girls. So for me, I'm lucky that I came to Ireland, and I call Ireland home, and I feel, I'm a very proud Irish, that I have the voice. The day I landed in Ireland, I was told, you have a voice, you're free. Regis was talking earlier here. She is one of my first teachers for English school. And, I am so proud to see her on this stage as well, because, it's just amazing. Even now talking to her, she said, you're a woman who never give it up. So for me, went back to Somalia as an activist. I'm helping every day a young mother who gives birth to a daughter, like me, who feels that I was scared and I have to do the same to my own daughter. That even breaks my heart more. So now I can use my voice telling those mothers, whatever happened to you, it shouldn't be happening to your own daughter, because we know that the risks we have all felt. We know, female genital mutilation is violation against the human rights. And it has, first of all, it has no place in Islam. It's nothing to do with religion. It's a cultural practice. And the cultural practice is not even something Somalia itself has built it. It come from in Egypt, which 500 years back was practiced on female genital mutilation. But it's something that today we are all humans to show the world the humanity and stop this, because it's nothing to do with Islam. It's a human rights violation. And also, don't be shy to share with your own community the platform and talk about it. That's my really call for action. Don't be shy to say that this shouldn't be happening, because many of the people in Ireland who I talk to, they always feel this is their culture, this is their own. But think about your own daughter, school she goes to. There is some girls who come from these communities where female genital mutilation is practiced. So this is what you can do in Ireland. Share your platform, talk to your own people, talk in everywhere you are. This is how you can save a life. And today, even if it's a legislation here in Ireland, there's more to be done. I really thank for Global Health Network giving me this opportunity to speak out, because when we have this kind of platform as an activist, we feel is amazing. So please, as Tesco bag, you all know Tesco bag says every little helps. That is the reality, every little helps. Your voice to your community is something. Thank you so much.